Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with the Monday Holiday DRF Bets Race of the Day. Kentucky Derby qualifying points on the line in race number 8 at Oaklawn Park, the Smarty Jones Stakes. And if you want to bet that race or the Oaklawn card from home, please consider DRF Bets. A $200 free bet is waiting on sign up with no deposit required. And all you have to do is go to drf.com/join and utilize the promo code FREEBET09. Let's take a look at these 3-year-old hopefuls. They're hoping to take that next step on the Kentucky Derby trail. We are expecting a field of 7, and if you head on over to the Race of the Day event page on DRF.com, you can download free formulator past performances for the Smarty Jones Stakes. Let's take this field in post-position order, beginning with the number 1, Combatant. Combatant has a really nice pedigree. Pedigree buffs will not only be very pleased to see that his sire, the late great Scat Daddy, is still sending out quality runners, but the 4th dam Fanfreluche was the champion 3-year-old filly back in the day. Combatant was a maiden winner in his dirt debut 2 starts back. It was a pretty solid race, earning a 77 Beyer speed figure, and then he ran a good second last time out. His first start against winners in the Springboard Mile against the talented but now sidelined Gravitas, and I think Combatant learned a lot from that race. He was down inside, getting dirt kicked in his face and on hold on the turn. He was able to get to the outside. He tried very hard in the stretch. If you're nitpicking at his mechanics, he's changed back and forth with his leads a couple of times, but he's still learning. He draws a good inside post position, and this is a horse that can settle off of a fast pace. Combatant is a very, very logical and strong contender in this spot for trainer Steve Asmussen. The number 2, Lone Rock, at first glance looks a bit cheap, but I think there's more to meet the eye with this son of Majestic Warrior out of a grade 3 placed dirt route dam. First 2 starts were disasters, but one race was a sprint, one was a turf where he lost the rider very early. He got a confidence boost winning around 2 turns against weak competition at Indiana Grand, and after a no effort whatsoever in the Grade 1 Breeders' Futurity, I liked what he did against weaker horses last time out at Churchill Downs. I know he was 22-1, but he made the lead very early in that race, about 3 furlongs out, was immediately confronted by the favored winner turning into the stretch, and he refused to yield. He battled all the way down to the wire, only lost by a half length. I like the way he galloped out after the fact. Gary Stevens takes the mount for this underrated barn. Lone Work shows a bullet workout over the Oaklawn surface. He is going to be a big price in this race. In 5 starts against weaker horses, he has not been less than 14-1 in his life. He'll be a price. This is a very tall ask, but you might want to consider him somewhere in your exotics at the very least. The 3 is Tap Daddy, like Combatant, trained by Steve Asmussen. Tap Daddy has, both of his wins have come on turf. But this horse has a dirt pedigree. Another one by Scat Daddy. He's a half to total tap, a multiple stakes place dirt router. And in his most recent start on the dirt, it was the off-the-turf Bourbon Stakes at Keeneland. That was a really solid performance. That was a fast pace, color-coded red. In your Timeform US past performances, he was up and on the pace throughout. He only got beat ahead. The 4th place finisher came back to run second with a 79 Beyer at Woodbine, and then that horse came back again to win the Display Stakes at Woodbine with an 82 Beyer. This horse may not have the figs and the big name recognition that some of the others in this race, but he is not without a chance. Moreno is the number 4. This horse scratched last week out of the Sham Stakes, won by his stablemate McKinsey. Bob Baffert understandably wants to keep all his 3-year-olds separated, and Baffert has an unbelievable lifetime record at Oaklawn Park. While some folks might believe that Moreno is kind of a sprinter, he has shown big speed in some of his sprint stakes races, he is a half to Sandy's Surprise, a stakes-winning dirt router that we'll see in the La Cañada at Santa Anita on Saturday. And the dam was stakes place, going 7.5 furlongs. Blinkers go back on for Moreno, and the last time he raced with blinkers, while he was the beaten favorite in the Speakeasy Stakes at Santa Anita, he did all the dirty work in that race, dueling 2 other horses on a very fast pace, and then finishing second best when the Good Trip Stalker came and got him. Moreno probably going to get to the lead, as we see by the Timeform US pace projector, and while the pace projects to be fast, maybe the short stretch at Oaklawn for the 1-mile distance works to his benefit. He is a very strong contender. The 5 Arched Feather we see is next to last on the pace projector. If that red bar fast pace indicator is correct, it would help Arched Feather. Arched Feather was 39-1 when he won his maiden race last time out, but this is a horse that is really bred for distance. He is a half to Dynamic Impact, who won the Illinois Derby by the long-winded Arch, and he's slowly improving with each and every start. Perhaps this race is too much too soon, but maybe he'll come with a bit of a run and hit the board third, or fourth. Navistar for Todd Pletcher, $900,000 son of Union Rags. And we've got a Todd Pletcher positive formulator fact. Surprise, surprise. Past 3 years, with 3-year-old last out maiden winners going second off the layoff in dirt routes, Todd wins 45% of the time and a $3.06 return on investment. I thought Navistar did a lot of work in his last start at Gulfstream, a 1-turn mile. He was pretty much up and on the pace throughout. Once he put away the pace setter, he was immediately confronted by 2 other horses, and he always just found a little bit more in the stretch, and it makes me think that additional distance down the road in 2 turns, not going to be an issue. This will be his 2-turn debut, and he acquitted himself quite nicely in his other start as a 2-year-old, finishing second behind Mask, who came back to win the Mucho Macho Man Stakes at Gulfstream Park last week for Chad Brown. Navistar is going to be close to the pace. He is yet another a very promising 3-year-old in this race and an extremely logical contender. Bodie's Maker is one of the few horses in this race I really could make a case for. He is stakes place sprinting at Remington Park. He just didn't do anything last time out in the Springboard Mile when finishing well behind Combatant. He may need a complete pace meltdown in order to pull off an upset. Here's my pick for the Smarty Jones Stakes. To be honest, I'm more interested in watching this race to see how these horses progress into the Southwest and the Rebel and the Arkansas Derby. Lone Rock's going to be a big, big price. And while it's questionable whether he has the quality to compete with the big 3 in this race, the big 3 being Moreno, Navistar, and Combatant, I wonder if he'll sit off the pace under Gary Stevens and try to come with a run. He did a little bit of running last time out. I think that was an underrated non-winners of 1 other than at Churchill Downs, but I wouldn't take anything less than 12-1 on Lone Rock in the Smarty Jones Stakes. He is also entered, by the way, on Saturday in a much weaker spot. If he scratches out of the Smarty Jones to run Saturday, I'll go with Combatant. So my picks will be 2, 1, 4, and 6 in the Smarty Jones Stakes. Monday's DRF bets race of the day. Again, if you are considering playing this holiday weekend, please sign up to DRF Bets. You'll be rewarded with a $200 free bet. No deposit required at drf.com/join by using the promo code FREEBET09. Approximate post time for the Smarty Jones Kentucky Derby points on the line. Race number 8 at Oaklawn on Monday, 4:42 Central. Good luck.